What I'm discussing is simple. There's nothing I'm saying that is complex. Everyone knows this. Everybody knows this instinctively because this is the situation of our people. So there's nothing I'm saying that is far-fetched. It's far-fetched if you've dumbed yourself down for so long that it seems preposterous. You watch Lord of the Rings, this is the story. Now, I don't live in a world where it's Lord of the Rings with good versus evil. I don't live in a world like this. But what I'm telling you is that there's a basic reality. Everyone knows because you're living in it. You've just totally blinded yourself from it. And all I'm doing is speaking the obvious. I'm simple. I speak layman term. I'm intentionally a little bit vulgar. I use urban language to show you that I'm not sophisticated. I'm not an intellectual. I've read more books than your average person times 50, okay? 100. So it's not, I can speak very properly with proper vocabulary if I feel like it. No, I want to speak human to human. Like if we meet in the street, hi, what's up? This is what's going on. Because I know that everyone can understand this and you can feel me if you give me the time of day and you don't just change the channel because you're scared. You can feel what I'm saying. And I'm not talking about doing anything besides the first step to everything is you need to realize or allow yourself to realize what's happening to you. And if it so happened that you're one of those sensitive cats, sensitive, I got to stress this because some of you Manospherian think that sensitive is a weakness. No, you're sensitive. That means you perceive more. Are unable to acclimate yourself to the surface reality. That means there's something in you, there's like a splinter in your mind. Neo. Okay? There's like something bugging you. So no matter how you try to tune yourself to the surface reality, it's something's not working because there's an aspect of you that's perceiving more. And you're not making sense of it. You don't understand it. So maybe that takes you on a rabbit hole, a wormhole. What do they call that? A rabbit hole of information on YouTube and all of this. And you'll get lost in Club of Rome and all this fucking nonsense. It doesn't change nothing in your life. The only thing that matters is to understand what's happening to you. And you need a sober, basic reality that anyone can understand. A kid who's 6 years old would understand what I'm saying if they listen to me. But of course, my stuff is not rated G. Is that what it is? Rated G? My shit is at least PG something, right? Rated R. So this is what I'm trying to say. If you want to understand what's happening to you and understand why you're feeling dis-ease, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. There's something wrong besides this bullshit that we see around. This is just the tip of the iceberg. At a deeper level, if you're one of those people who can perceive at a deeper level, it's not just the COVID wars and the 2030 agenda. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that's not it. That's just the tip of the iceberg. If you can perceive more, you're looking for answers. And without those answers, you can't exhale. So anyways, the point of what I'm trying to tell you is that if you perceive more than your average individual, that means you need more answers, a greater picture, so that you can better understand yourself, realize that you're not crazy, there's nothing wrong with you. Maybe things are out of balance, fine, but there's nothing wrong with you. And that indeed you perceive something that your average person doesn't. And that makes you maybe particular, strange, weird, whatever how you want to say it, but there are other people like that. And that sensitivity, that means that perception of more, if you develop it, if you allow it to grow, if you cultivate it, puts you in a very unique, dare I say, privileged position in the global community. Because that's, if you develop it, you can't just talk shit because you watch a video. I'm not talking about this. You need to self-realize it for yourself. Let's not get into this, okay? So it allows you, from that point, to help other people go always a little deeper. So if a person lives in 2 dimensions, your job would be to inspire them to think or consider that there's 2.5 dimensions. That you can do that because you know so much more and you know that there's such a greater possibility. You can also be a prick with it and piss everybody off. That's your business if that's how you want to do it. I don't recommend that because if you have access to that data and you've learned to cultivate it, the only reason you're learning to cultivate it is so that you serve other people and you help these people go deeper in what they're doing so they become better at whatever they're doing. And you only become better at what you're doing if you have a greater vision of what it is. That's it. Take any field that you like. I like to use sports. It's a basic analogy. What makes an athlete better than another besides so-called genetics is a greater understanding of the game. So if you help a person have a better understanding of what it is that they do, they settle into it at a deeper level, establish themselves all the more deeper, and become more attuned to the spirit that they serve, hence becoming better at what they do. And eventually they can potentially, maybe with your guidance or not, rise above that game. So all this to say, we're having a conversation, man to man, and I'm trying to talk to you about a basic reality that you know, that you feel, that you've always known somehow, some way, that you've pushed aside, that maybe you've been looking for answers left and right. Maybe you've watched a bunch of videos that give you information that kind of makes sense, but that information is borrowed, it's not yours, and you don't know. And it doesn't change anything. Who cares? But what I'm talking about basic instinct, not the movie, basic instinct. We're talking about from an intuitive level, a part of you that knows. And I'm talking to that part of you. I'm not talking to your intellect. A little bit, but that's not my goal. I'm talking to that part of you that knows, and I'm giving it an impulse. I'm tickling it. I'm doing a treatment at a distance. Ha ha ha. Huh? So that you allow that voice to come up a little bit and listen to it a little more. That's what I got to say in regards to this. And this is a gorgeous path. It is clearly intimidating. It's a big one. Not many people will understand, but you will understand everybody though. Now, many people will understand this because it's deep. It's very deep. It scares the shit out of people because we're looking towards the root of things, the root of the issue, not surface level affair. And it's not to say that the surface level affair is not important. Listen, I live in Canada and a bunch of truckers are going to Ottawa. God bless them. My prayers are with them. I wish them the best. Somebody's got to do that. I'm not doing that. That's not who I am. It's not what I do because I do not operate at that level. They do. I salute them. They're courageous. They're strong. They're definitely clear-minded at that level and they're doing what they got to do. They're operating at that level. They receive from me love. That's it. I wish you the best. You got my prayers, whatever that means, but you got my prayers. But I don't operate at symptomatic level. This is a symptom. It's somebody needs to address that symptom. I don't want to go too much in that conversation because in my humble opinion, all of this is part of something else. But let's just stay at the surface. This is great. I don't stay at that level. My interest is the core issue, the primary lesion, the so-called original sin, where the issue comes from. And I present it to you. And I know that you can understand because it's simple to understand. And if this is something that you're called to, that means this is what you got to do. Ain't no running away. There's no amount of trying to be at the surface that's going to ever make that voice go away. There's no amount of drugs that you're going to take. It's not going to go away because it's what you are. Until you hold yourself accountable to what you are and you go on the path, it's a calling, literally. Ding, 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 ding. It's a calling. You got to go towards that. And if you do decide to go on that path, well, I'm the right rabbit. Finally, I'm the white rabbit. Motherfucker. Some rabbit's going to come along and tell you, come along.